Hi, we're here with Tim Wilkerson. He has come to visit us at Montad in Novi, Michigan, and we just got back from the Norwalk races. And how do you feel you did this past weekend?
Well, we had a pretty good weekend this weekend. Had low ET of a couple of rounds, qualified in the middle of the racetrack, and ended up getting beat in the finals. So one run short of taking home the big check and the big trophy.
Oh my gosh, now how did the heat affect you this weekend? I know it was extreme heats. It was 150 on the track.
Yeah, that really makes for some tough decisions in the way of tuning your car. Makes it very tough on the crew. You know, you can imagine working in that heat 12, 15 hours a day was it was very taxing on everyone's emotions, and just the whole atmosphere of the whole race weekend was very tough just based on the heat.
I mean, we just experienced positive attitudes. We never saw a person without a smile on their face, and just the dedication that was behind the teams and all the racers was magnificent to see and be a part of. How did you personally feel with the suit on? Because that is just an added, extra layer. I know that you want protection, but does that affect you when you have to get into the suit and gear up?
No, I think really that when you put your fire suit on, you just run into a different zone, because it's that's, I really couldn't even tell you that it was any hotter. Believe it or not, it
Really?
sounds ridiculous, but when you get that suit on, you're focused on the main task. And believe it or not, when you make the run, you turn the corner, and you get out of the car, you go, wow, it's really hot outside.
Yeah, it's like your mind clicks back in.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But before, when you're sitting in there,
yeah,
it's not bad at all. I mean, you really don't even know it. The biggest hazard in racing in those type of conditions is just your perspiration.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about that car catching on fire, that was my biggest fear with my son's fire that we had there that weekend. Not to get ahead of maybe one of your questions, but when you're sweating inside that suit, the chance of a fire cooking your sweat, actually burning you, is bigger than the fire itself sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
Think of the steam effect. That's kind of what it does to you.
Yeah, now you did mention your son. How did he do this weekend?
Well, we were very happy with the results of how the car ran. We had one small part failure that ended up in a devastating fire, probably the loss of that complete Summit racing body. But he did well outside of that. We spent till midnight Saturday night putting a second car together, and he run our backup body, which is the Diversified Yacht Service body, on Sunday morning, first round.
Now, knowing where he was sitting in that moment, you could identify with how he was feeling. When you're in these types of situations, what gets you through it in your mind? Like, what are you saying to yourself?
I mean, really, you're there for your sponsor. I mean, that's what you go there for. I mean, he was representing Summit Motorsports, and that's where we're there. Summit Racing Equipment sponsored his car, and we're there to make sure that they take, that they're taken care of, and that we're their spokesman. So he was devastated of it. He's a young man, and it just really tore him up that we lost that body, because he knew how important it was to Summit. And but they were good with it. They understood. They know what they're up against, and they know what they're up to when you have a one race deal. That's the only body we had with their name on it. So
Wow.
So we ended up running my backup body, but they were happy to see that he was okay. That's the important part.
Nice. Well, now transitioning from Norwalk to the West, how do you feel like your performance is going to change, or what's going to change in your mind as you get ready for the next race out West?
Well, traditionally, we usually have a decent Western swing. Traditionally, we call it the Western swing because we do 3 races in a row.
Okay.
Denver, Sonoma, California, Seattle, Washington, and they are complete opposites in the way of how the car operates and how you run the car and how I have to tune it. You go to Denver, and anyone that's ever been to Denver, the first couple of days you're there, well, I'm in Denver, it's a great place, and by the 3 or 4 days down the road, you are tired. because
of the altitude.
Yeah, you're used to the oxygen level in your blood being X, and you get to Denver and it's down here. It's down here, at P. And you're like, wow, I'm really tired, and I don't even know why.
Yeah.
Well, the car knows that. It has that same effect on that race car. It has to breathe that same air that you do. So we go to Denver, and we have to tune the cars up. We spin the supercharger more. We put more compression in it. We put more ignition timing in it. We put more percentage of nitro in it. And we try to trick the car into thinking it has the same motor. And then we go from there to Sonoma, California, which is sea level. So you're 180 degrees back the other way then, because Sonoma, California, it's like, wow, the car's got way too much power now. And then you go to Seattle, where there's lots of trees. Seattle is close to sea level, and man, it is just littered with evergreens. So there's tons of oxygen there.
Yeah.
So there is a big transition in going from them 3 places.
It sure is. Well, thank you so much for taking time to talk with us today.
Yes.
Your mindset and dedication is inspirational.
Well, thank you.
To drivers and fans as well. So thank you.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. Thank you.
Thanks.